So if you might have seen by the thumbnail and the title of this video, there is some disastrous things happened. One of them, I feel it only fair to put like a trigger warning out there. It does involve death. It can be a very humbling experience, that, when it happens close by. But I just wanted people to be aware before they watch the full video. And I will now get on with the video. So this week's video, you may have seen the thumbnail, disaster. It didn't start out that way. So what I'm going to do, I've got 1 week until my triathlon, so this very time next week, I will hopefully be in the middle of a triathlon. Not a chance I'll have finished by this time. I had my email come through. I'm participant number 231. That's my race number for the Olympic distance triathlon in Birmingham at Sutton Park with the UK Triathlon. So let me take you back to this last week of training. So last Saturday, it was supposed to be a celebration, really. My friend's 250th park run. Now at some point on the plan anyway, it's been on the plan, I need to run 10k. I've never run a 10k race before. I have run this Olympic distance triathlon before, but due to course topography, I think it's known as, the bike was extended slightly and the run was shorter. So where my friend was running his park run, his 5k park run, was about 5 kilometres from where I live. So the plan was run there, that would be 5k, do the park run, another 5k. But things didn't quite go to plan. Didn't really start well because after about half a mile, my watch decided that it needed me to restart the activity. But that was no problem, but possibly, just possibly, a sign of things to come that day. On the way there, I had to walk at least 5 times due to a pain in my ankle. That meant I was slightly late arriving to the park run, and it had already started. So where I actually got to the park run was a little bit after the start anyway. I didn't quite make park run on time, but we joined the course a little bit ahead of the tail walkers, behind some of the park walkers which we've already passed, some more walkers ahead. But in a strange turn of luck, my ankle played up 5 times on the way there. Going all the way around the park run, it was fine. I did have to walk a few times, took a few pictures. But strangest things of coincidence, considering I didn't do technically the full park run of 5k. Thank you. As I crossed the finishing line, looking down at my watch, I've seen 9.99 kilometres. Just kept running through the finishing funnel, which is only about 10-15 metres long. And by the time I picked the token up, I was already over the 10k. So that worked out really well. But yeah, the disaster number 1, just running, the ankle. So we got home and we tried to use the RICE treatment plan, you know, the rest, ice, compression, elevation. And after a couple of days, I felt suitably recovered. So much so that I thought I'd be able to try some cycling. I've had a day or two now without pain in my ankle, but, well, disaster struck on the bike. Well, we just had a tumble and came off the bike. A busy crossing. Just trying to look behind for a car to see if it was safe to move over, and caught something on the road just in front of me. Ended up falling off onto a grass verge, onto my left shoulder. It hurts, it'll ache, it'll bruise, same with my knee, but The planned 40-kilometre cycle didn't quite go to plan. So I needed to turn right at a junction and add a filter lane, and through no fault of any of the traffic other than the fact that it was there, I was trying to turn around and look over my shoulder to see the traffic. When you hold onto a bike, it's not that easy. You only sort of turn that way, you've got a helmet on as well. And I crashed. By the time I turned around, it's like I hadn't seen all the rough road. I'd got the bags on the back of the bike, so there'd been quite a bit of extra weight in there, bottle of water, amongst other things. The curb to the left-hand side must have probably been about that high, with grass on the top. And that's where I fell. I sort of fell, rolled onto my shoulder, so yeah, shoulders are been an issue since. I can bring it up there, so I've not broken a collarbone, although it sticks out. It is my shoulder that I had surgery on a few years back, so it's the surgically repaired shoulder. And the worrying thing though is that over the next couple of days I've noticed a pain building up behind my knee. No pain, but I push there. Where is it? It's not behind my knee, it's sort of in the joint. There, oh there we go, just here. A quick check on Google, and it seems most likely that it's something called a Baker cyst. And the treatment for that, treatment for the second disaster, again is RICE. The rest, ice, compression, elevation, which I still need to do because the pain is still there, like I've just shown you. Oh, there's a windmill to the left. Oh, a little pull in ahead. Pull in there, go fell to the windmill. Doesn't look like it's working. It's Chesterton Windmill. Its structure was restored between 1965 and 1974 by Warwickshire County Council, and the council still remains the responsible guardian of this windmill. So that ride's now complete. Temperature's been 29 degrees, just over 2.5 hours, 42 kilometres. Yeah, here we are, all done. Been a great ride, but it's one that's got done. It wasn't DNS, it wasn't DNF, it wasn't even DNC. Do not crash. So 2 disasters down, one running and one cycling. Superstitious people would say things happened in threes. Now my shoulder hurts from the crash. So bear in mind, head down, swimming and trying to pull. Not great technique. Could this be the 3rd disaster? So like I said, I'm just 1 week away from race day eve. I don't know, is race day eve even a thing? I was planning to go for a swim at the pool to test out how it feels with my shoulder at the moment. I feel keeping it moving is going to be best, because it does feels heavy and tight. And I just feel like, well, it's still moving, let's keep it moving. Whew. However, waking up this morning, I had some horrendously disastrous news to share in regarding the swim for my triathlon. Now, not wanting to make light of something, there are memes circulating on the internet that you wouldn't swim in a swimming pool if there was a dead body in it, yet you would swim in the sea, where there are hundreds or more bodies in there somewhere. And the thing is, the meme mentions everybody has a body to water ratio that they find acceptable. But the following thing is not a laughing matter, or a matter for any meme at all. So I turned on the TV and the news broke today, or that a search was on last night. I'd actually seen something just mentioning briefly on Facebook that a search was on at Powell's Pool in Sutton Park. And that's the very pool that my triathlon is going to be taking place in. There was a search on for a teenage boy who had gone missing, expected to be in the pool. Further updates confirmed that the body was found, and unfortunately this boy had not survived. My condolences and any prayers anyone has really go to this child's family. He was just a boy. Now, my own personal thoughts are a bit all over the place regarding this. I can see that groups that plan to swim there on a regular basis have decided against it for this week. I think they're sort of saying, let the triathlon take place, and then they'll start their sort of twice weekly swims back up. So that was certainly the 3rd disaster, and the gravest yet. It also puts a little more perspective on things, as although it's rare when you enter a body of water, whether for leisure or to compete, there are risks that nature will decide upon the outcome. I'm hoping that, well, I don't know what I'm hoping for regarding racing a triathlon event. I've been looking forward to doing now for over 2 years since my attempt at it before was cancelled. So without wanting to appear selfish, I have to wonder, 3 disasters culminating in a death, it's certainly not a good omen for me at this event.